We are here. We are ready. We are doing live things. So we're live on both. Just so you just,
Yeah, this is
just so you know, because I like to get in and then you give people the 5 minutes to join or whatever. So Instagram's already litty. Hey Insta. Hey y'all.
oh, so who should get more attention?
I think it depends. So like so Darren usually is like my gatekeeper for Instagram. So like he'll join and then he'll just start like adding people.
Critiquing.
Cause like on Instagram you have to literally like do it one by one.
Oh,
Like you can't just be like share. It's like you gotta literally personally invite everyone.
yeah.
And it's like,
Oh,
oh
on
okay.
Instagram.
Hey everyone.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh on Instagram. So I mean it really depends. But anyway, go on Facebook and then you gotta start blasting this bad boy.
So you want me to go on Facebook now too?
Yeah, you're not
How many
tagging him.
how many devices you think I have?
All right, so we can share it with your peoples. I'm just going to
Can I do
share
it
it.
on StreamYard? Can I go out of StreamYard and then? Oh no, I can't do it. All right,
Mm-mm.
all right. Figured I'd ask.
It's the complications of everything.
Yes, yes.
Um, but yeah, we're here. We're gonna wait for people to come in. I usually
Okay,
give it
that's
like
cool.
five
That's
minutes
cool.
anyway.
Word. Cool. Oh man, what a day.
I know. I legit
But
feel
it's
it.
cool. It's
Facebook,
cool.
hey, Facebook is definitely a better reach. Like honestly, I do reach a lot on Facebook, but
Hmm.
I promote it on Instagram too. And so, feedback from my lovely friends. I like, well, if you're gonna post it on there, you might as well be on it. Which
Yeah.
is fair. Which is fair. So I'm gonna try.
Mm.
Anyways, you got the questions ready. Are you ready to answer them?
Um. Honestly, I I had them ready. But like I said, today's been a little bit of a doozy. But
Hmm.
um, I mean, once we get into the flow of it, we'll be good. You know, I'll do the best I can.
And you'll
I'll
be
be
great.
as real as I'll be as real about everything as possible.
You're great. I'm going to tag you in it, and then I'm going to share.
You know what? I can. Nah, then I'm gonna mess up my whole setup I got right here. So
Right, like I'm going to post it on. I don't know. Can you do that on a
actually, hold
friend's
on.
timeline? I'm going to post it to your timeline, and then
If I
there's
get out right, if I go out of Instagram and just share it right now, would it close the live?
if you share it on what?
Facebook. That's what you're saying, right? Share it on Facebook.
Well, I just posted it on your page, so
Okay. All right.
people are going to love it. Anyways, we're going to get into the introductions of everything because we're here and this is what we're here to do.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so world, welcome, welcome, welcome. I have music playing in the background.
Real Zenish.
Anyways, so this is episode 3. I cannot believe it. I'm so excited for episode 3 of the series Black Man Heal. So far, we've been getting good feedback, so we're just going to keep the ball rolling. Um, Today, world, this is a very special human in my life. I call him my twin. You don't look anything alike, but He's my emotional twin. He is great. I've known him since 2005, 4. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like 18 years, man.
It's been a long time.
He is a, what are you now? The assistant director at this point, just shift
No,
admin.
nope. I'm a shift admin. Yeah, yeah.
Shift
Shift admin
admin
role.
at the boys detention unit. He is one of my closest friends. He is a girl dad. He got 2 lovely babies, my
Yes,
nieces.
yes.
He's great. He is a very emotionally intelligent individual, which is why I had to bring him on. So world, meet my twin, Darnel, welcome.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
I don't think you've done a live with a fighting chance. I know you've done one with me.
I've done one with you, yeah, but not with no, not with
Yeah.
a fighting chance. No.
So, like, what happened to the different perspectives podcast? Y'all still do that? No.
We haven't done it in a while. I think life tried to just got in the way. COVID happened.
Yeah.
Um, we were in the middle of trying to figure out what we was doing with the studio. But again, like I said, things happen, and now we're into other things now.
Yeah.
We started a business, me and Archie.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but we added one other person. Um, so I mean, we're doing all right. We have different. Uh, we have a lot of goals. I think we're taking baby steps, doing doing certain things now so that we could do bigger things later. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love it. All right. So the episode is called "Turn the Page." It's dealing with the narrative. It's dealing with the understanding that life continues, and we have to, keep moving. Turn the page. Don't stop here. So, um, obviously, this is a mental health discussion. So let's start there. Mental health. What do we know about it? How has it impacted your life? Give us the juice.
um, mental health is such a large umbrella. Is At least for me, I look at mental health as how is your life? Are you happy? Are you stagnant? Uh, are you challenged? Um, what else? What's going on in your life and how is it impacting you? It's like I said, like it's such a large umbrella. It's kind of hard to really pinpoint it, but those are the things that I kind of really focus on. Um, I had a friend that told me that if you're not happy, then nothing else matters.
Mm-hmm.
And with mental health, that goes hand in hand. I think uh, a lot of us men, we don't really even understand the concept of being happy. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we get lost in a lot of materialistic things. We get lost in a lot of social events and things like that before we even really understand what it is that makes us happy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, but I mean, mental health for me, especially, being happy has been one of the main things. Uh, I dealt with a lot of things in my life, especially this past year. My mental health has definitely been challenged.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but honestly, how do I even say this? It's literally probably been the worst emotional year of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but at the same time, I've accomplished the most goals in my life. Uh, I'm sorry for my
My niecey poo.
yeah, my little American Idol over here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been a really long year. My mental health has definitely been challenged, but it's been challenged in both ways. It's been challenged negatively and positively. It's been the negatives have affected me greatly but it pushed me to be able to complete everything that I've been wanting to do. So,
So
I know I'm
you
kind of
said,
all over the place.
you said something like men get stuck, right? And
Yes.
you try to navigate through society, family, like there's so many things that men have to navigate through, and that's the narrative that I want to talk about because it's known like women, we do a little bit of everything, right? We're moms, we're girlfriends, we're workers, we're nurturers, like we're doing everything. But like with men, especially men of color, there's that narrative that y'all are lazy womanizers, you don't stick around, you tap out when things get too hard, right? And so like those are the stigmas that are attached to you guys. And so I want to talk about the labels that exist with men and men of color, and how do you
Mhm.
guys like break free from that
Mm.
mold, because truth be told, you guys don't have that great of a rep. And so
Yeah, we don't,
unfortunately
we
you
don't.
don't. And like there are men like you who show up and who are very active in the lives of their loved ones, but you guys don't get enough credit. So let's talk about that, like the labels and the narratives, the
Uh,
stigmas.
man, I'm not gonna come on here and lie.
Don't, please don't.
But I I have been I have been that before. I have
Hmm.
been that the stigma. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like
It is
hey,
okay.
play over there. Play in the dollhouse.
My nieces are
Um,
playing it off.
so but yeah, like I was saying, I've been that. I've I can't say I've ever left. That's one thing I can't say. Um, but as far as you know, being uh, you know, not being the best man, without getting too personal. Um, I can say that I've been that. But I think what I think happens is society uh, it holds on to that. It holds
Mm,
on to us being bad. It holds on to us, making mistakes in our lives. And at the time, obviously, we might not look at it as mistakes. We might just look at it as, I'm having fun, or I'm stressed, or I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. Whatever the reason is, every to each his own. But
mhm,
we don't stay that way. We all go through a phase. We all go through things that we've never really prepared for, and some people get into relationships before they're really ready. Some people get out of a relationship and then hop right in one without even being ready.
mhm,
So it's hard to. It sucks because we get judged on that, and so many of us do it, but it's not. That it's not. How do you say? It's not just black men that do it. All men do it. I think what makes it tough uh, is a lot of it's kind of glorified, through social
mhm,
media,
mhm.
music, things like that. It's like I gotta. Can I swear on here? I can swear. Can I be just?
Say what you
Yeah.
need to say,
Okay.
friend.
Because I didn't want to say it. I just it's kind of just flowing.
Mhm,
You know what I mean? But it's like if I got a bad woman here and she ain't messing with me, then I'll go and get another bad woman and this and that and all. And it makes us look crazy. Uh, but for that just every one of us as average men, we go through things and we struggle through things. Um, we're brought up and looked at as being, stronger, and uh, we should be able to just deal with certain things, and nothing should phase us, and you know, but that's not true.
Mm-mm,
Like
mm-mm.
we do the, and this it's very unpopular amongst women, but as a man, like we, or as a black man, we don't want to look weak in front of our women. You know,
Say that. Say
we don't
that.
want to look weak, and instead of us being like, "Oh, I can't handle this," or I'm really struggling right now, it's like, let me go and look for an outlet. Let me go and do something that's gonna make me feel a little better. It might be
Mhm.
wrong, but this is what I need right now.
Yeah.
And it, like I said, it's wrong, but it's not something that should stick to us.
Can we pause, because listen, you are saying something that is so rich. Not only do we hold on to the narratives that, all men are dogs and black men ain't all of that stuff, right?
Right,
We
right,
do
right,
not, and I'm saying we as women, I'm saying we as society, we do not give you guys the grace that women get. Like, we get grace for days. It's like, oh, she was just emotional and she was just struggling because her life is stressful. We get grace, y'all.
right.
It's like one and done. It's like, up, nope, mm-mm. And then you said, not only is that a hard part, but then there's that other part where it's like your behavior is sometimes glorified in society. And so
Hmm.
therefore it's like, why break it? Like,
Hmm.
this stuff is
Yeah,
is what makes me a man. And
yeah.
like last week we talked about toxic masculinity, and that was one of it, right? Becoming misogynistic almost in how we handle, and by we now I'm saying black people,
Black,
uh
right, right, right.
how we handle difficulty. And unfortunately, narratives like black men are aggressive and black men are abusive and black men are emotionally unavailable and all of these things, and it's just like,
That's
this
and
is
that
what.
not to cut you, like that's one thing that I find that when you say black men are emotionally unavailable, black men are probably, to me, one of the most emotional men, as far as all aspects, because
talk,
emotions can be loving, it could be angry, it could be anything.
talk
But
about it.
we are emotional. Um,
Hmm.
there's a lot of things that we just don't get physically express, or we don't show as far as emotions.
Hmm.
Um, but there's a lot going on uh, in our minds, and um, it's tough because you don't want to be the soft man. You don't you
Hmm.
don't want to be the you don't want to be that. But I think it gets to a point where, like, sometimes it's okay. You know, it's okay.
Yes. Listen, now the reason why, y'all, I call this man my twin, it's not just because our birthdays are like 2 days and 2 years apart. He is the second, I am the fourth. That's not why. It's because Darnell is able to understand emotions on a different type of level than most men that I've encountered. And since I said I've known him for 18 years, that still stands true till this day. Like, Darnell understands, first of all, he understands my emotions, and a man that can understand Janae and her emotions, top tier, right? And so the reason why I wanted to bring Darnell on is because, like, he can speak to that part of being emotionally aware of self without it being like emasculating. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Without it being like, Darnell's a strong dude. Like, Darnell is able to carry himself. Even today, like, he called me earlier and was just like, Jermaine, I don't know, this thing's going on. But the fact that Darnell was able to show up is exactly why he is on this platform right now, is because men need to know that it is okay to emote. It is okay to have emotions. It is okay to feel how you feel and not feel like, because I have these emotions in my body, I'm not a man, or I'm not a strong man, or I'm not a real man. Like, Darnell is man, right? And so, like, that's the thing that I really wanted to talk about, is like, how do we overcome life's problems? And how do we continue after these narratives and these stigmas have been stuck to us for like we can say years, but we're talking generational stuff. Like
Right.
since we were brought here on this lovely American soil, the narratives of the black man, we need to change that. So how do we overcome it? Because you had a great like perspective on things that's happening in the media. So like
Mm,
the Will Smiths and the Kanye Wests and the Kyrie Irvings and the narratives that have been created against them,
yeah.
and how difficult it is for them to still own their fame and celebrity and influence after mistakes that they've
Yeah.
made.
Yeah. um. Um.
Keep it real. I know what you're trying to do. Nope, we're going to keep it
So
real.
I'm a very big fan of both of them.
Hmm.
I'm a very big fan of what both of them did, but that's a whole nother topic. Um, honestly, I think getting well breaking those narratives. I think we just have to accept everything that it is that we do. Um, and I know I know it kind of sounds like rehabish, but
Hmm.
that's what we need to do. Uh, Instead of being like, oh, I cheated because of this, and I left you because of that, and I didn't. Just be like, yes, I did that. You know,
Mm.
I did that, and I'm sorry for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did this. I wanted these things, and I'm sorry for that.
Hmm.
That's that's how you really, to me, that's how you start it, is accepting what it is that you do wrong. Um,
Accountability. Yes,
yes,
friend.
but it's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy because to be like, yeah, I was a piece of shit. That's to accept like you was a piece of shit is not. As a man, you don't want to say I'm a piece of shit. You want to be like, yo, I'm the man. Like, forget all that. I don't care about none of that. That's in the past. I
Mm.
don't care about none of that. No,
Hmm.
that's not what it's about. You got to
Right.
accept what it is that you're doing. You got to accept it. And what you want? You want attention? Huh?
Girl, dad life be
Yeah.
like,
What is it? What's up? What's up? What's up? What do you need? Huh?
see, we're getting firsthand how you tend to the emotions of women. Men, you check
You
in, you
hungry?
ask questions.
Yeah. No, but get her a snack. Um, but yeah, accepting what it is that has gone wrong. Um, it's it's not easy. It took me a long time. It
Hmm.
took me a long time to really realize that and understand what that really meant. Uh,
Yeah.
it's gonna it's gonna take a lot. Hold on a second. What did I just ask you to do?
Accountability,
Get
people, is
her a
what
snack.
Darnell was talking about. A lot of us don't do it, but we need to, and it doesn't make us any less of a man, any less of a person. Own up to what you've done, own up to all of that, and know how to keep going. And that's why it's called Turn the Page. People, listen, human error is a thing. If we did not, if there was like that inevitable moment where you're going to mess up, I'm gonna get churchy for a minute. Hold on, it's gonna happen. It always happens. God would not have sent Jesus down to help us navigate this evil, weird world. Okay, so human error exists. People are going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes. Most you're probably going to regret. It happens. But again, for some reason, men do not get the grace and the forgiveness, unfortunately, that women do. And
Right.
it's like, yeah, if you was jacked up and you made some horrible decisions, maybe you hurt some people along the way. Truth be told, I think we've
Hmm.
all had, but for some reason,
Definitely
men,
happens.
you guys are just like written off.
It's
Like,
bad.
as soon as you
It's
do it, it's like,
bad.
okay, you're done.
It's bad. It's bad because nobody stays the same. Everybody changes, whether the change is good or bad. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
changes, and
Yeah.
it's like I said, it's very, and I'm speaking from my own experience. Like it's very hard to accept all the things that you did that were wrong.
Mm,
Um, and again, kind of going back to like the, like I said with the music and stuff, and I guess social, not just social media, but entertainment in general. It's very hard when we're always portrayed as something wrong, or our
mm,
music is it's it's crazy negative.
yeah,
Um, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't listen to it, But it's not my favorite. I was a very big R&B fan. I'm more of like a as I grew older, I understand what like soul music was.
yeah,
Um, Listening to because I just thought like R&B was only singing, but then I understood the difference between R&B soul and then just R&B music. Like, there's a big difference between like a Trey Songz and a D'Angelo. You know what I mean? It's a very big difference.
the
but
vibe is different. Yeah, yeah.
but a lot of black men won't listen to that. As far they'll listen to the Trey songs and all that bullshit, but they won't listen to like it's okay to be sensual or sexual in an adult way, but like when you just it's so it just blows my mind. It bothers me. It bothers me.
Mm, mm,
Um, that music like that is so mainstream and things like that. I know I there's a what are those things called? Like a short, a YouTube short
mm,
with Tank on a podcast,
mm,
and he's saying the Ed Sheeran song. Ed Sheeran was it Ed Sheeran? No, Sam Smith. Stand. Wow,
stay
I
with
can't
me.
think of this. Yes, there you go. He
Mm,
sang that little part, whatever, and he explained. He was like, he sings that song, and it's blowing up, and it's crazy, and it's great. Blah, blah, blah. He's like, but if I sing that song, it's whatever. It's regular.
mm,
Doesn't
mm,
get the buzz,
mm,
and it's because we don't, as a community, as black men, we don't push it. We don't support that. We want
mm.
all the extra shit. We want the all that extra stuff.
Mhm.
And then when
Yeah,
you're
so
65
I
sitting by
think
yourself,
the beautiful thing about life is that there's no one way to be, right? I think when we talk about like gender norms, it's like men ought to be like this, women ought to be like this, masculine, feminine. And it's like, first of all, we like, I have some very masculine tendencies, and
hmm
trust and believe I'm all 100% female. Okay. Okay. But if that like Jeremiah side of me needs to pop out because someone wants to try me, yeah, you gonna see that. You know what I mean? And
right.
men who can tap into that feminine energy, so to speak, I think is a very powerful, and if you ask me, that is a man's man, okay? Because if you can lean into who you are and understand that I am a complex individual, so I can listen to the Tank and the D'Angelos and the Ushers, and I can, do a little bit of Tupac, and I can do a little bit of Biggie, and I can do
Right.
a little
Right.
bit of Ace Boogie, and then for some people, it's like I can do Kurt Franklin, and you know what I mean? Like, we are complex individuals. And I think we need to accept men, especially men of color, for who they are. Because you are someone's husband, you are someone's father, you are someone's brother. You guys matter. And I think, I was having a conversation with a lot of the men in my life, and it's like, you guys have the same thing. We're not allowed to be who we are. We are only allowed to be what we give to people, what we have to offer.
hmm
Again, women, we don't get that. Women are told, like, oh, queen, you're beautiful, you're amazing just because of
Right.
who you are. And when you walk into the room, black girl magic. Men, it's like, What do you have for me? Like, what do you bring
Right.
into the table
Yeah.
financially?
Yeah.
What provisions can you have? And unfortunately, I think that's what's stopping you guys from
Go
showing
ahead.
up in the spaces where you are. Stacy, yes. Stacy said we have to value ourselves first before anyone else can see you or our value.
yo,
She's great.
yo, you about to get it.
Don't be threatening my kid.
Nova,
No.
get her a juice.
Um,
I don't care.
so speaking of valuing yourself, Darnell, like I said, he works at a boys detention unit, and I feel like he's been there for like ever.
Yeah, I've
It's
been there
been
for a
it's
little
been
bit.
a minute. So
I've been there
either
for a
way,
little bit.
how do you show up for the boys that you have to deal with at the unit, and even for the staff, because you're in an administrative role and
Yeah.
representation matters. So we've had some mutual clients, if you will,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
at my program, and then they made their way to the detention unit, and they were boys of color who were
Yes.
lost, who didn't have representation, who didn't have a strong male role model. And so what is your role? Like, what do you take on as the administrator, as someone who's dealing with boys who may not have had a positive example in their life?
I mean, outside of, because I'm not gonna talk about uh like what my actual role is.
Yeah.
But how I look at it as, I grew up from Brockton. I grew up in Brockton. Um, and a lot of them, uh, they're just like I was. Um, most of them are, Brockton, Boston, New Bedford, Fall River, Lawrence, Lowell, Springfield. All those inner city kids.
Hmm.
But I treat them. I guess I treat them how I wanted to, how I wish I was. Not treat them how I wish I was treated back then, but I guess I try to give them the knowledge I wish I had back then.
Mm.
I go in there, I tell them straight, like, no, I didn't do years in jail. I didn't do none of that shit. But I did some of the same things that you guys did. Uh, and it's not the end of the road. Like,
Hmm.
I travel a lot, I vacation and stuff.
Yes,
Um,
you do.
so like
He
I
don't
tell,
invite me though, but it's fine. Proceed. Mm.
but I tell them, you know, they get so fascinated with the simplest things, uh, because they feel like their world is nothing but the concrete jungle. But
Mm.
like, you travel, you get to meet different people, different
Hmm.
types of people.
Hmm.
Uh, when you leave America, you get humbled. You don't even need to leave America to be humbled. You can go you can go to the South and be humbled. You can uh, you feel what racism actually. You could feel it in certain places of America. You go to different countries and you can feel it, or you go to different countries and you experience different cultures. Um, so that's kind of like where I'm at right now with them. I used to go in there and kind of treat them like little brothers, but I realized, like, that's not just what it is. It's not just what they need. They
Mm.
need to know what else is out there. Uh,
Mm. Talk about
ex-
it.
uh, um, Exposing them to different things, like something simple as volleyball. Like, these kids, most of them are like, volleyball. Nah, I'm not playing no volleyball. What? I'm not playing no stupid ass volleyball.
Uh-huh.
Let them play it one time. Yo, when we going back and playing volleyball, when we gonna go back out? And it's it's it feels good. The job is
Hmm.
rewarding,
Yeah.
uh, emotionally. I laugh when they laugh. When they get upset. I don't really get upset, I'm not gonna lie, but I understand, and I try to, coach them through it. And I
Yeah.
tell them, like, yo, if you're mad, be mad. Don't sit here and bottle it up. Just
Yeah.
be mad. But at
Mhm.
least don't don't keep it to yourself and then assault somebody.
Mm.
Like, just be mad. You gotta yell. you want to act out or something or whatever.
Mhm.
Like if that's what you're doing or if that's what you feel, let it out. Don't
Yeah.
sit here and hold that in because now what you're gonna do is you're gonna fall into the stigma. You're gonna fall into
Mhm.
the aggressive black kid. You're gonna fall into the black kid that can't follow rules. You're the black kid
Mhm.
that don't have any type of emotion like yeah, emotional regulation. Like there's you can't do anything. You're just
Yeah.
another black kid from, the inner city. Like
Yeah.
don't, if you gotta yell, express that. You
Mhm.
it sucks going to court, coming back and finding some bad news, having a bad phone call. One of your friends may pass or something while you're locked up. Uh, we all understand that, and I
Mhm.
think that at least for my unit, because there's so many of us from the same areas, I think that's why we succeed so much. Uh,
Mhm.
that's why it is that we get recommended certain youth from regions that aren't ours. We get metro kids, we
Mhm.
get northeast kids, we
Yep.
get central kids.
Yep.
And it's like, listen, we only have Randolph and down. That's all we're supposed to be worried about. And you sending us all types of kids. And I think it's just because like we don't look at the job as a job. Uh,
Mm.
I definitely don't. I go in there. I got a freezer full of food, and I cook it for them because why not? It's food. It's food. But they
And the man
appreciate
can cook too, y'all.
it.
Man
they
can
they
cook.
appreciate it. It's little things like that that I feel can help them. But at the same time, when they get out, we as a community need to help them as well. Um, because I might have them. Oh, that's another thing. I'm on a treatment unit, not detention. So
Mm.
detention is different. Detention is short term. I have them long term. So we build relationships with them. So I think the biggest disconnect is once they leave us, they get they get community services, but those services may come from people they don't have relationships with. I really hope that our department changes uh, some of the policies they have because they have policies in place where we can't have contact with them for like 3 years or something like that after they leave. Because but to us that's counterproductive. Like, how do you
Mhm.
expect somebody that built a relationship over 2 years? How do you expect him to leave and then not be able to use that relationship that he just built?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so, but I said I don't look at them as little brothers and things like that anymore. I just look at them as I joke around and it sounds bad, but I call them like the future leaders of America.
There you go.
Uh, but
Mhm.
it's true. I tell them all the time, like, listen, look at what we're doing. Look at what we're watching. I just had a conversation about that too. Uh, you know, why are we so involved in what Tory Lanez is doing? Who cares? Who cares? That's a whole nother human. Let that be whatever it is. And I get celebrities and all that stuff, whatever, whatever. But
Mhm.
let's put that much effort into our own little communities. I'm not saying we're going to change America because we're not, but each of our communities together can do that.
Yeah.
But
Listen, I am. This is why you're here, sir. So representation matters, right? And it's one thing to talk at kids, and trust me, I've been working with young people since forever. And people are like, "Oh my God, Jermaine, you're just so great with the kids. How do you do it?" It's like I listen, I
right, right,
validate, I understand, and then we work from there. There are so
right.
many people who are talking at kids, and then they wonder why they're not getting it. It's like teachers talk at you, right? Certain
Right.
coaches talk at you. You have to learn how to talk with them, sit down and understand where they're coming from because their perspectives on life matter.
Yep.
And it's telling you where they are mentally, emotionally. That's all they know, right? And so
Mhm.
when you have kids who are acting out, like when I worked at the group home, I rarely had to restrain kids. If I was restraining, it was because I was joining in on something that
Yes.
happened and
Yes.
I
Yes.
wasn't in the
Yes. Yes.
room.
Yes.
Like the way I just walk into a room and I'm like, you come here because you're not going to do this. You're not going to
Mm-hmm.
ruin what you've been working on, all because, like you said, you had a bad phone call or because DCF didn't let you go home when you thought you were going home. It's like, don't lose don't lose your cool on everything. You do not have to be so reactive, right?
Right.
Like have the emotion. You're going to get pissed off. You're going to be upset. You're going to be sad. You're not going to know what to do with any of this, but there's a way to work through it. And
Right.
if we don't sit down and not just coach them, like talk to them how to do it, but if you don't mirror that, if you don't be a role model and show them, like I get pissed off all the time. I used to tell the kids all the time, like y'all piss me off. Ugh, and I'm tired and I'm working doubles and y'all know y'all see me all the time, but am I going to lose my cool?
Right.
No, right? Because I had to learn how to maintain emotions, and it's like I feel emotions. You hear me? I feel
Right.
them. There's no such thing as like a level 2 emotion in Jermaine's body. I feel them like up here. And
Right.
I had to learn how to be like, you don't have to act on everything. As a man, you don't have to act on everything.
No.
Everything isn't an attack. Everything isn't, my macho self got to show up. It's like, I think manhood is knowing when to step in and how to step in,
Mm.
right? I
That's
think
definitely true.
if there is a difference,
Yeah.
huge difference. If we don't
Yeah.
if we don't learn how to do it, if we don't learn how to coach young men and older men and men,
Right. Right.
just
Right.
like know the difference and know when to step in and how to step in. You don't have to always be aggressive. Sometimes just your presence alone. Like I was at you when you had your birthday party and my nieces were running amok and all you did was just step in there and you gave them that look and they was like, all right, let me chill. My pop is looking,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
You own that space and all you did was just show up and you stood there. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And there's so many different ways that that can be taught. But I don't know if people have the patience to work with our lovely young brown and black men.
No, there's not. But you know what? And that goes to the stigma too. Is sometimes it don't even take patience. It's
Mm,
not even. It's not even about the patience. It's just about, like you said, like listening. You
mm,
know, being. Uh, I don't like to say sympathetic. I hate saying being sympathetic. But at least giving them the giving them the platform to express themselves. You might not even. I haven't. I as far like losing patience and things like I look at the things that these dudes do, and I just look at them as because I have them from 14 to pretty much 21, 13 to 21.
mm,
But I look at them as their age. You definitely do get some that are testy.
mm,
But it's
mhm.
it's not all of them. I can have
Yeah.
a floor of like 15 and only one or two of them are like that. You know, but giving them the chance, give them a chance. Like it falls back on us though, on me, on my coworkers, on you,
Yeah.
you know, but mainly like black men, especially black men that were there. That I'm not. You don't have to be a millionaire to be successful.
There you go.
Taking care of your family could be successful. Owning a home could be successful. Owning your car, that might be a level of success. There's all different levels of success. But
Hmm.
give back just the information. How did you do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you go
Yeah.
through? And a lot of them, a lot of the kids that I have that are locked up, that's what they want to hear. They don't want to hear from. I mean, and you know, Malcolm X is probably one of my favorite men ever. But when he said like athletes are not leaders, He couldn't have been any more right. Like, they're not gonna look at LeBron and be like, "Oh, he made it. Look what he did." And this,
Yeah.
like, that's crazy. They don't
Yeah.
listen to him. They don't care about what he's saying. They don't care about that. They want to know what's real. They want something tangible. Like,
Yeah.
oh, Tyler did that. I hear them talk about the stories all the time. Hey, this dude Brick did this, da 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 da, and he's here now. And I hear them talking all the time. They don't. That's what they want. They want to be like, oh, I know him. He did it.
Hmm.
This is what's
Hmm.
going on.
Yeah.
And we don't have enough of that. It's everywhere, but we don't have enough of it.
Hmm.
I wish there was more. Um, I wish like there is community support and there's things like that, but it's just not pushed enough. It's not
Yeah.
celebrated enough.
Hmm.
Um, and it sucks because there are youth that are in these situations that can get out and be real productive. There's artists. There's some kids are real extremely smart.
Hmm.
There's all types of things that these kids are into, and they never really get the chance because they go back, they get out, they get they get labels, um, and then being so young, uh, they just hold on to it. Like, oh, okay, well, I'm a felon, or I got these charges. I'm never gonna do this. I'm not gonna be able to do that, and
Hmm.
and it's sad because I've seen a lot of people or a lot of kids go through my program that I was like, okay, yeah, he could be something, but then you just know after doing it for so long, it's like he could be something, but it's probably not gonna happen,
Hmm.
because you just know, it's like his situation is so ass, and there's no real support. We're not able to contact that youth, and like there's some kids. Oh, when I get out, we'll go to the Y, or we'll go to Boys and Girls Club, or we'll go to this park, and we'll do like it's like yeah, no, not gonna happen. But we
Hmm.
try. We put it on the caseworkers, uh, but they don't have the same relationships that we do.
Yeah. You are spitting some beautiful facts, friend. And like I've said to Chris and to you, Zion, I'm going to say to you, we got to bring you back because you are bringing some rich word to us, and you're challenging us to really think differently on how we approach um, the younger generation, especially our brown and black boys, learning how to check the stigmas and saying like we don't have to be another statistic.
Hmm.
I tell Darnell all the time, like I'm so proud of him, like he's not a statistic, and he has defied a lot of odds. He's made into his 30s with like very little trouble, and he said, he didn't always do everything right. But Darnell was able to turn his life around and turn the page and rewrite his narrative. And so proud of him. Sometimes I just sit back and watch like that's my twin. Hey. Anyway, so we've reached the end of this, and at the end of everything that I do, I always want to have a charge for action. Just kind of your last words on, you know, what you want to leave with people, something that you want to challenge them to do and to be about. So, what are your final words in your charge for action?
um, I think my at least lately my biggest thing has been be a pillar in your community.
Mm,
Um, I've always I've had this conversation so many times about uh, the system holding us back and all this bullshit. It's like, okay, well, who cares?
mhm,
Do something with the people that you can reach.
mm,
Do something with them. That's where it starts. It
mhm.
always starts that way.
Yeah,
Do something with the people that you can reach.
yeah,
Um, if if you want positivity, be that positivity. It's going to fester. It's not gonna be overnight though.
it's good.
Be that positive person that you want. Like uh, I hate making resolutions. I
Yeah,
hate making New Year resolutions because I never follow them, but I have a few that
Uh-huh.
I'm seriously going to do. And one of those is be that person. Like my group of friends, we do certain things. Um, some are positive, some are negative. We're guys, um, but certain language I don't want to use anymore.
Mm,
Certain topics of our group chat I don't want to talk about anymore.
yeah.
Why are we giving so much energy to people that don't matter in our lives?
Mm, say
Stop
that.
doing it. I don't care if they're black, white, purple. It don't matter. They don't give us any purpose of our life in our life.
Yeah.
So let's stop making that such a topic. Let's talk about what we can do on the weekend with these kids. Let's talk about what we're trying to do as far as basketball leagues or little football leagues or trying to push single mothers or help single mothers with their kids. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that we can do in our small community that
Mm-hmm.
eventually will grow.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really where I'm at is be the pillar in your community. Stop making it seem like you can't make a change. No, no, I don't know anybody that's asking somebody to change the world. Just change your community. That's where it
Ugh,
starts. You know?
that's my twin, y'all. He is serving. I hope y'all, we're eating. Get your water. Because he's saying some really good stuff. Now, this is the end of this one. Darnell's going to be back because he doesn't have a choice. Because I'm going to bring him back anyway. Um, thank you all who have watched. Thank you for the comments. You guys are amazing, Darnell. I always say I am so proud of you in a lot of things that you do.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate your life. I appreciate your wisdom. You guys come back next week. Next week, I'm going to have a colleague of mine, Wayne. We're going to talk about grieving
Mm.
because life, right? We've all lost someone. I've
Yes.
lost someone. Darnell has lost someone. And it is really hard grieving. Grieving is one of those things. It's like the flu. There's a
Yeah.
process, and you have to go through it
Mm.
all. You can't skip steps,
That's a deep
right?
one.
Like you can't get rid of it. And we're gonna talk about how do men grieve? How do they handle it? So you guys stay tuned because we're doing this for another like 6 weeks, maybe, or maybe beyond. Again, Darnell, I love you to pieces. He is like one of my favorite
Love you
humans in the
too.
world. You guys, thank you for showing up, sharing, commenting, catching this again if you're not watching it live. You guys have an amazing night. Merry Christmas to everyone. Darnell, Merry Christmas.
Yes,
I got to hit
yes,
you
yes.
up because I
Merry
need some
Christmas.
cookies and some, cupcakes
Yeah,
before I
that's
go on this
been
night
it's
diet.
been I've been getting a lot of inquiries about that. I've been getting a lot. I'm surprised. Actually, I shouldn't be surprised, but
Because this
you
stuff
know,
is
I,
good.
it is. People like it, and I don't even eat them. I don't even eat them. I only eat them the first time I make them. That's it. The first time I make them, I'll eat them because I'll be like, "Is this a good flavor? Are people gonna like this?" But we'll see. We'll see.
Mm. Oh, so we can be friends up until the 30th because Georgia's playing Ohio State, right? Isn't that what's
That's
going down?
yeah.
He's a Georgia fan. I am a
Yes, I
Buckeye
am.
all the way.
Yes, I
So you know
am.
what, Darnell, we're gonna be friends up until that day. So and then after
That's
that,
okay.
December 31st, we can
Yeah,
be friends.
it's okay. Yeah,
Anyway,
it's not. I won't. I won't. I won't bother you too much with the outcome of the game. I won't bother you too much with that.
thank you. I appreciate it. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys. I will see you later. Talk later. You guys be blessed. Have a Merry Christmas. And remember next week, 7:30.
Yes, yes, yes.